Welcome to AI Africom 2021, 13th East AI International Conference on E-Infrastructure and E-Services for Developing Countries, December 1st to 3rd, 2021, Zanzibar, Tanzania. The paper I'm presenting is titled Utilization of Information and Communication Technology in Addressing Property Tax Collection Challenges, the Case of Tanzania. Authors are Justuce Muhoza, Gration, Shubi, Felix, Kaijage, Muhoza, and all three authors are from Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology, located in Arusha, Tanzania. I'll take you through introduction up to the reference. On introduction, property tax has been taken among of the potential sources of revenues in both developing and developed countries worldwide. And the effort has been taken by most governments in establishing and maintaining the good property taxation systems, which has some degree of collaboration between the local and the central governments. Now, the reason for the potentiality of the property taxes include its visibility to taxpayers, sense of fairness due to benefit of charge for the use of the services, but also it is immovable and located within the area of jurisdiction of the authorities. In Tanzania, property taxes are in two types. One is property rates. This is charged on ownership of buildings or other similar structures erected on land. And another one is land rent, charged on the ownership of land. So we have the buildings, which is erected on the land, but the land itself is also charged what we call land rent. So the owner of the building of the land has to pay for tax for that building, for owning that building, but also paying the tax for owning the land where the building is constructed. So these are the two types of taxes together called the property taxes: building and land. Now, Tanzania has been taking several reforms with the integration of ICT systems to make sure the potential of property tax is fully utilized. Among of the effort is the development of the information systems to be used to administer the taxes from property taxes. There is the development of property rate management system, which is used for property rate administration, but also there is the use of land rent management system used for land rent collection. But despite all the efforts, despite all the made by the governments, still the collection of property tax is not substantial. So this paper explores the current challenges contribute to raw revenue collection from property taxes in Tanzania, but also conceptualizes the information and the communication technology solution to be able to address the identified challenges. The methodology, data were collected using questionnaire, which were administered to property taxpayers, but also to property tax collectors. But also interviews were used, which were administered to system administrators who administer those systems I have mentioned. But also the design science research was also used in proposing the ICT solution to address the identified challenge. The design science research always seek to out in developing and designing solutions for improving existing systems, solving problems, but also creating new artifacts, contributing to better performance of humans either in organization or in society. So since this study was focused on improving existing systems, the choice of the design science research is appropriate. When finding out the challenge on improper tax administration, the collection through questionnaire and the interview, the results showed 5 categories of challenges, which is lack of comprehensive taxpayer education, high collection costs, inconvenient payment methods, significant number of property tax defaulters, and the impractical enforcement measures. On lack of comprehensive taxpayers education programs, it was seen that the authorities are not including the agenda of tax education when they hold the meetings or seminars, because the majority of the respondents or the taxpayers, when responding on how they get information, you can see 93% they said they always listen through government media, announcement through media. So this is one of the challenge. Another one is high collection costs. On the interviews with the tax collectors, 95% said they distribute the bills, or we call demand notes, manually by house to house visit. So this is incurring a lot of cost in terms of labor, resources, and time. But also there is inconvenient payment methods. You can see the payment by bank is the method used by the taxpayers. You can see almost 100% of the respondents, they said they pay by bank. But as you know, the banks, there is queues. People, they go there and they start to queue for waiting for payment, for control numbers to be able to pay. So this is also inconvenient way of paying, which making the taxpayer not pay their taxes. Also, a significant number of property defaulters was a challenge, where you can see, according to the policy, the taxes has to be paid every year. But you can see a significant percent in Dar es Salaam, 38% of respondents, they said they always not pay per every year. They just default for some years. The same in Dodoma, there is a good percent. So you can see if people are not defaulting also, we expect the collection to be low. This is also a challenge. Another one is improper enforcement measures used to enforce people. The measure they used by the authority to enforce the defaulter to pay is not practical. You can see the law requires them to take the defaulter to court or to deny them some of the other municipal services. But you can see from the respondent, they say, majority they say almost 73% in Dar es Salaam, when they default, nothing happens to them. So the avoidable enforcement measures are not applied. Now, the paper now proposes the ICT solution which address the above problem, the mentioned problems. Now, the solution, it proposed the framework. This framework tried to integrate or to interpolate the 4 information systems. The one for property rent management systems, land rent management system, prepaid metering system, and the government electronic payment system. So the framework interpolates these systems so as to be able to address the challenges. How this works? Now we can see the proposed conceptual framework for the proposed solution. In the middle, we have what we call the prepaid metering system. In Tanzania, the way of paying for electricity is using the prepaid system, whereby the customer pay for in advance for the electricity, and once the amount purchased is exhausted, automatically the customer is disconnected from the electric service. So you can see initially the property owner here is the building and the land owner, which means is the one who is supposed to pay for the building and for the land where the building is constructed. Normally requested to buy electricity in a prepaid metering system. So before this system respond for the token, the recharge token to the customer, Now our framework will need this system to connect to this land rent management system and also to the prepared rent management system to check if this customer who is requesting for electricity has no any arrears. Now once arrears is found in the end of the system, either property rate or the land rate, then the prepared metering system will respond with the arrears message and not the token to recharge, directing the customer or the property owner to pay any of the identified arrears. But if the building owner has no any arrears, either on land or property rate, now the prepared metering system will normally respond with the token to recharge the electricity. So this electronic government payment gateway, the purpose is just to notify the payments. Now, because this is done through the mobile, now we are going to eliminate the issue of the queue on the banks. Anywhere the customer anytime can request electricity, and if she has arrears, can be able to use the mobile phone through this proposed framework to clear the arrears and again request for electricity. Because the 95% of all Tanzanians are already connected to the national grid, this framework will cover a good percent of the building owners and land owners. And this will enable the authorities to collect more revenues from the sources, and this will eliminate this big percent of the challenges which has been identified once implemented. This is our reference. Thank you for listening.